Have you ever fiddled with local streaming and cloud computing? The Logitech XCloud. It's my first time reviewing it, though not my first time laying hands on one, but thanks to the good folks at Logitech for sending it for review, this one I'll be able to dissect and let you know how good it is and if it's worth having. Let's start this video differently by letting you know some of the latest that Logitech have brought to this handheld. New with update OTA 9, you can keep up with the latest XCloud news through the new XCloud hub, find out about updates, news, cloud games to play, and participate in exclusive contests and events. Xbox Cloud Gaming is my favorite way to test the new releases on Game Pass, like the newly released Indiana Jones and The Great Circle, and now you can experience the service in 1080p, maxing out the panel's resolution for a sharper and crisper image while retaining the same amazing fidelity. Lastly, you can now capture gameplay moments with native audio included, as well as choosing to add microphone capture or not. Keep up with future updates through their change logs to know how they keep evolving the platform. It's great to see that Logitech is hard at work at improving the user experience past the release of this handheld. But some things don't need updating, and definitely one of the strengths of the device is the hardware. There isn't a doubt in my mind that if one thing can justify its regularly $300 USD, though often on sale price tag, it's how comfortable and quality that it feels in the hands. Another thing we'll do different with this one is leave specs on screen for a couple seconds, and what's different about it is that it's the only seconds dedicated to the specs throughout the entire review. And so I'm gonna keep this short and sweet. What I love most with the XCloud is just the overall comfort. It's got some of the nicest ergonomics I've experienced on a handheld. It's easy to hold, it's very form-fitting to the palm, incredibly light despite this huge screen and amazing button sticks and triggers. That's the beauty of stream gaming. The hardware focus can shift to having a greater engineered handheld without the usual hurdle to account for, allowing manufacturers to dial in on core principles such as being way cautious, having a lengthy battery life, and pleasant ergonomics to match for longer sessions. And let me tell you, Logitech did not slack in that department. Still, there's much more to talk about, and that includes caveats, which we will, as long as you stick till the end. As is in its name, it's made for cloud gaming. Still, you can do some native gaming as well. That said, I don't want this to occupy too much during this review. One, because while it can do some of it, it's not where it shines, which is not to say that it can't be pleasant. It would just be underutilized if doing so. But also because in terms of the SoC, this chip is just not built for intense graphical output. So while yes, it can do some Android gaming, I'd suggest to put aside the 3D demanding titles and rather stick to the eye-pleasing, easy to run, pixel-based title. In fact, I think this handheld is a perfect candidate for a Play Pass subscription. You can find a jam-packed library of lightweight games, pick up and play titles such as Stardew Valley, Dead Cells, Limbo, and so much more. Oh, and if you have a Netflix subscription, they have quite a selection of games in there as well, and I would expect most would work fine on the XCloud. The other thing this device will be great at is lightweight emulators. Think any non-3D systems, not to say you couldn't do entry-level ones, but by assuming that you wouldn't, you're managing your expectations and will not be disappointed. If you want to emulate the more demanding stuff, one way to do it is plug a hard drive and a PC in your garage and tap into it through the power of streaming. I mean, I'm joking, but am I? See, that's the kind of way to leverage older hardware. It doesn't have to be cutting edge, but if you have an old laptop, an old tower that's collecting dust, maybe that could be a fun project to stick it in a corner out of sight and to easily tap into with something like a XCloud. Because the reality is that system does not fit my space anymore, but as a stream dedicated PC, oh, it's perfect. Well, it becomes perfect by the time you have an amazing handheld to tap into it, and truly, few are the ones that do it as comfortably and conveniently as this amazing solution. For right now, I want to take you somewhere else. If you've been an Android user, you'll know that PS Remote Play app does not play nicely with non-licensed controllers. Did you know that the XCloud is whitelisted to play your PS5 games using the official PS Remote Play app? Of course, it is not the only way. You can also use the phenomenal PX Play, a very affordable paid app that will unlock the full experience, including Rumble over Stream, something that Sony's solution doesn't do. But if you want want to stick to the readily available and free solution, have at it, because Logitech's turf is one of the very rare ones that actually can. I don't like dealing with too many subscription services at once, and one I default to a lot because I have it anyway is Amazon Luna, which it may be easy to forget because there are no apps being shown in the App Store. You have the service by default when having Amazon Prime. I always grab my yearly subscription because my wife and I, we order a lot from the website. One game I love to play but hate the huge install size is Lego Fortnite. As we said earlier, the Amazon Luna app is not supposed to be on the App Store, so open your browser and search for Amazon Luna APK on Google, download the latest APK and install it to your device. It may ask that you allow installation from your browser. Go ahead and authorize it to do so. Once it's installed, just follow the on-screen instruction and you'll be set in no time. Luna has come a long way and they always cycle games, so the selection is huge but always changing. Since Stadia's, it's probably my favorite cloud platform because it's extremely low friction, reliable, and I don't feel as though I need to spend more. But that's not to say that spending a bit extra is bad, and when doing so, there isn't a service as compelling as Xbox XCloud. I mentioned it earlier and I'll keep it real. For me, XCloud is my de facto to test a game for say an hour or two, and if I like the game, I then download it to my PC and play natively on the rig, which is the beauty of XCloud. The subscription can feed my PC, my cloud gaming, my Series X. It doesn't matter the platform, I just carry on with my gaming. But when I do long streaming sessions, I do them locally. Usually I default to one of my two PCs. One I've dedicated to the emulation powerhouse that we were talking about earlier, and the other is for more modern titles, and there are no better solutions than Moonlight to get that done. Paired with Steam Big Screen, it's crazy how much the experience can feel like a lighter, duration lengthier, more powerful Steam Deck. If you ever wanted to be shocked by cloud gaming to the point that you can't distinguish it from the real thing, that's one, if not the best option. The reality is we're no longer talking just about a G-Cloud, but these devices also do not only serve that specific purpose. If you feel like you want to get into that ecosystem, I'd urge you to make it a fun project and test this out for yourself. Any household with a router and a computer have what's necessary to experience streaming on the G-Cloud. And again, it doesn't have to play the most complex games known to exist. There are no larger platform for gaming than the PC, be it from purchasable titles, free-to-play titles, or fan-made, fun, amazing homebrews alike. That doesn't require the powerhouse with an RTX 4090. You could have a Rogue Ally be seated as your PC and tap into it from a Logitech G-Cloud if you wanted. I realize it sounds absurd when said like that, but as amazing as a Rogue Ally is, gaming on a G-Cloud, especially when considering weight and ergonomics, is actually a superior experience if you ask me. And though I believe Moonlight to be the peak experience, you have great and user-friendly solutions and Steam Remote Play, or another one of my favorites, Parsec. Parsec is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Install, login, bam, you're good. And guess what? There's an Android app that you can install on your G-Cloud to tap into your PC, laptop, or handheld PC. So how about if you want to do all that, but you still want the peak experience without the PC to do it? That's where today's last service that we'll talk about, Geforce NOW, comes into play. It's not the most user-friendly experience out there. It's expensive, you have to bring your own games, you operate on a limited timer to have a system dedicated to your gaming. But once you're done looking past all that, if it still aligns with your needs, it is the best cloud-based gaming solution on the market. The quality and fidelity is through the roof, which will definitely deliver the best experience there is. There is a free tier which can be leveraged to see if the experience is one you like, and you can also buy daily passes to experience the service firsthand and see if that is something you'd like to subscribe to. Now, the other thing you can do is upon the purchase of your G-Cloud, you'll also have a free month of Shadow PC, a similar type of service with less restrictions, as well as a free month of Geforce NOW. So if anything, you'll get to see what service works best for your needs, your wallet, and your overall preference. We took this entire video talking about the various ways that you can do from very basic to far more complex gaming on a XCloud. It really is a limitless approach, and one that leans on companies lending you the hardware for the time that you need it. And when you're done, you're back to not having to deal with the electricity bill of running those devices, the space they take in your home, the hardships of being confined to your couch, or even your household. But if you don't mind any of this, you can also build your own at home. It's easier now than it's ever been, and with a device like the XCloud, you can dedicate one of the best options on the market to bring all that power in the palm of your hands, draped with nothing but comfort and a pleasant ergonomic experience. And though I made sure that this review is not about the screen, the buttons, the ergonomics, make no mistakes, all of those aspects are amongst the best you'll experience of any currently available handheld. Don't take my word for it, check out other reviews. That's a staple of this gaming console. But is it all perfect? No. Buying into a XCloud, it is best to assume that you will be buying into a subscription, if not multiple, an ecosystem, if you will. While the cost of entry is a lot smaller up front, you'll end up paying over time. That said, it could take years before you catch up with the upfront cost, so this may not be as much a con for many. Next is having to be tethered, though not always a necessity, is a thing that you simply should not buy if you don't expect to have it sorted most, if not all the time. Depending on how reliant that you are on external services versus local ones, your experience may vary as well. However, with how versatile and plentiful options are nowadays, it's more of a set yourself up once and you're golden from here on out. The last con is the value proposition. It can be challenging at times when you think that you can strap a telescopic controller to your phone or even tablet. But from someone that speaks heavily about these tools, I wouldn't put them in the same category. It's just not fair to compare how much better the experience is on the XCloud in peak conditions. One major pro to counteract this is you're sitting on great hardware from just a let's game point of view. Now, of course, beyond the native output, the device can get you far into the future because you are tethered to the solution, and as they improve, so will your XCloud over time. I love how far stream and cloud gaming have gone in the last decade, and I can't wait to see what the next one brings. And for the time being, the XCloud remains one of the top tier solutions to experience it with a focused approach. I hope this video showed you all the many ways that this handheld can help you dive deeper into this universe. Should you have any questions, please let me know in the comment box and I'll do my best to answer them. But if I can leave you with one thing, this handheld is not about its specs, which is why I didn't make them the focus. It's about how far it can take you into your gaming, and quite literally, this device is one with no boundaries. Thanks for clicking and watching the video. Please consider doing the YouTube things such as liking and subscribing with the bell to not miss any future video. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace.